Hey Bread Gang, I hope everyone's doing good and keeping safe. Clover Health, I've been saying it. It looks like the short squeeze is actually starting. In my previous video, I said that the short squeeze could possibly be coming. We're seeing that happening right now because there's a massive bullish candle in today's session. So in today's video, I'm going to have a look at the price action. So look at where the price currently is and where I believe it's going to go to, and possibly give a price prediction for the end of the week. With that being said, let's get this bread. So looking at the chart of Clover Health, so ticker symbol CLOV, and from Friday's session, the price actually closed below that 50 MA and also closed within that range. So the range between $9 as the resistance and the support being $6.45. So the fact that the price closed below the 50 MA, it didn't look like it was going to be promising in terms of the bullish run. Possibly the bears were going to start bringing the price back down, even further down, and reestablish themselves as a bearish trend. So this wasn't the case actually today because the price gapped above the 50 MA. The whole session has been, look at that beautiful green candle. The whole session has been bullish. Said it time and time again in my previous videos that the bulls mean business. As we can see, even though the price closed bearish on the Friday, as you can see, there was actually an ascending triangle that was being formed. And this was possibly a bear trap because a lot of bears would have thought, you know what, the price is below the 50 MA, let's drive this baby down. But the price actually closed at the tip of the triangle, which means that, look, at this point, this is where there's a lot of momentum being built up. So think of it as a spring. As you compress the spring, there's a lot of momentum that's being built up. So when you release it, the spring just goes everywhere. So this is the same case here. There was a lot of momentum being built up within this ascending triangle. And the minute that it got to the tip, it pretty much, you can see the result of that has been explosive. If the price closes above this range, so basically if it closes above $9, so stays pretty much where it is at the moment, and the next couple of sessions, basically this week, if the price stays above $9, then I can definitely see it heading up towards this resistance at the resistance of $10.50, and $10.50 is pretty much a resistance zone. So between $10.50 and $11.68 is your resistance zone. So if the price gets towards here, expect a lot of bearish activity, or possibly a lot of bearish activity, because a lot of short sellers or bears might be looking at that price and be like, you know what, at this point I'm going to jump in, especially seeing as the price is actually getting towards like overbought territory within the RSI. The RSI right now is just over 60, and when it gets to 70, that's where it's overbought. But perhaps there's going to be a lot of momentum that keeps this price pushing up. And just because the price gets to, or because the RSI gets to 70, doesn't mean that, look, it's going to start crashing down, like the price is going to start crashing down. That's not really the case. But when it does get there, a lot of people might be start taking their profits, or a lot of short sellers might start jumping in thinking, you know what, let's short this, the price is likely to start heading down. So looking at the MACD, since there was a golden cross formed on the 5th of August, the price has pretty much just stayed within that golden cross. The price has just been, it's been range bound, but predominantly it's been bullish. And looks like the bulls have actually started picking up. There was a time where the bears tried to establish a dead cross, which means that the bullish momentum was coming to an end, and the bears would have started trying to pummel this stock price and try to get it down. But the bulls are like, nah, we're going to keep this going. Basically, they've broken above the range, they've broken above the resistance, which is great. You can also see from the histogram on the MACD that the momentum, or the bullish momentum, is actually increasing. And also looking at the volume. So right now, the market's only a couple of hours into the session, but already there's 41 million shares being traded, and the average is 30 million. So I can see this possibly getting towards 100 million shares being traded in today's session, because a lot of people, they're trying to pretty much fight right now. The bulls and bears, they're fighting right now. Part of this momentum, or this increase in volume, is because the price got to the tip of this ascending triangle. So a lot of people would have been looking at this and thinking, you know what, let's get this, go hard or go home. So let's get this above that resistance. Let's get this above the 50 MA, and let's get this price to the moon. All right, so now looking at the weekly chart just to see where the price is going to go for the next couple of weeks leading into months. And on the weekly, my last video, I did say that the price is likely to rise by the end of the week. So on the weekly chart, there's a couple of things that indicate that the next couple of weeks could potentially be bullish. And the first thing is that on the MACD, there's actually a golden cross being formed, and you can see even in the histogram that the bearish momentum has been decreasing. It went from a solid red, solid dark red, to pretty much a pinkish, and the bars have been decreasing in size, which basically means that the bearish momentum is coming to an end and the bulls are possibly going to take over. So what this means now is more long-term investors will start hopping on this. They'll be like, you know what, on the weekly there's a golden cross being formed, so the next couple of weeks is likely to be bullish. If that golden cross actually holds, then there's going to be a lot of bullish momentum pushing this price further, especially seeing as the price is actually heading towards this 50 MA on the weekly. So just like the daily chart, you saw how the price was basically getting towards the 50 MA, and then when it got to there was some fight between the bulls and the bears. Basically, the bears bring the price below the 50 MA, bulls bring the price above it, and just that fight. So we're likely to see a similar fight between the bulls and the bears on the weekly. So when the price gets towards the 50 MA or touches it, then it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, you could see some bearish activity. It's likely to be the resistance around $10.50. I mean, let's just have a look. So yeah, exactly. So $10.50 is pretty much where first of all, where the resistance was on the daily chart, and also $10.50 is where the 50 MA pretty much coincides. So when CLOV gets to this price, there's going to be some bearish activity, but it'll be interesting to see if the bulls can actually send this price beyond the $10.50. And if this is the case, then I can really see this price heading up. On the long term, I can see this price heading up to test the previous all-time high. But first of all, it's got a couple of resistances to go. So it's got $13.37, and also it's got pretty much $15.50 is where I would say is a major resistance on the long term. Definitely a major resistance in the daily chart. But right now, my price prediction for the end of the week is at least $10. I believe the price is likely to get there, whether or not it stays above there or closes below there. But I believe the price will definitely get there, and we'll see what happens next week or the next coming weeks. But nevertheless, I'm going to be keeping you guys up to date on Clover Health because it's been a very interesting stock to be following technically and also fundamentally. So guys, if you've got those diamond hands or you're thinking about getting into Clover Health, I mean, this would be a good time to get in, especially seeing as the price is broken at 50 MA. And as long as the price stays above that, then I can see the price definitely heading to that $12 and even possibly the previous all-time high. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys subscribe and of course hit that notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up so I know this is the kind of content that you like to see. And also comment below, let me know your thoughts on Clover Health, especially today's huge green candle so far. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next video.